The railroad tracks. The tracks she came upon in small-town western Tennessee, not far from Memphis, were located at a dead-end road mere seconds from civility. This place, she knew, in a fraction of time, was drawing her near for a reason. A chance to fall back 13 years before and see how it all started to change at a set of tracks just like these. She left her car running and stepped out into the crisp fall air, walking carefully towards the tracks in her business attire and dress boots. The sun started to fall, ever so faintly, leaving the huge green field on the other side of the tracks basking in the dusky glow. She looked carefully to the left and then to the right, silently praying for a hedge of protection at the end of this dead-end road, then carefully climbing upon the tracks to take a picture and think back. At a place like this in the dark of the night in rural Oklahoma City, she drove all alone on a drive intended to clear her mind at the end of another pointless fight. Darkness and a 2-lane country road, and empty tears rolling down her dark, worn, hollowed-out eyes. She sang along with the angry music, letting her angst, hope, and pain pour out of her like rain. Loving this, hating that, confusion, chaos, blurred lines and poetry, and emptiness, painful emptiness. She felt like such a failure to so many who loved her, especially to herself and her child. Nothing worked like it was supposed to. The family, the kid, the life, so much good potential turned so horribly, painfully wrong. She couldn't look in the mirror, for she saw her soul slowly dying as her eyes sat silently accusing her. She was so far gone she felt dead, and even wished it so, many times before she came upon the familiar set of tracks. She recalled many nights of past, approaching the same set of country railroad tracks, tempting her, taunting her, knowing no warning red lights would flash and no safety arms would fall. Not here at this rural set of tracks. All she had to do was drive and not look, not care, not breathe, not hurt, not live, not be. And she didn't look, nor turn to the right, nor turn to the left. No watching for that bright single headlight approaching in the distance. Ears listening to loud, angry music and the static in her head. Not lonesome train whistles in the night. She drove over those tracks many times, silently wishing for an escape from her own personal brand of insanity, willing that train to come on and take her. Yet this one dark, lonesome night, the music got too loud. Her brain hurt. The inner static turning into lightning strikes, overloading and short-circuiting. She had to turn it off. She needed silence. The hurt was so great that something snapped. She would never be able to listen to loud, angry music quite the same. A piece of her broke inside, and she felt something tiny in the middle of nothingness. Something poured in. It could have only been God, although the years would be many more before she knew that for certain. In that moment, she only had one thought: her son. He needed his mom. He didn't deserve this. To lose his mom? She couldn't give up. And suddenly she was scared, so scared. Scared she was too late. By now she was already in the middle of the tracks, like so many times before. Was that a whistle she heard? Her life flashed before her eyes, her son's life, his life without her. Frantically looking to the left and right, she accelerated, like a NASCAR driver in second place, a car length behind first at the checkered flag of the last lap. Except she was in a crappy maroon 4-cylinder Dodge with out-of-date tags and no insurance. And there was no train. And she was still here. She could still change this. She drove home in silence. And for the first time in a long time, she took a clean, crisp breath and knew something had to give. And it wouldn't be her. At least not this way. She would give, but she would not give up. Instead, she would give all that she had, even if she wasn't the best at it. She was tougher than this. She had to be. Her son was counting on it. In that moment, she cracked beyond repair and slowly rebuilt with stronger glue, and leaving a few cracks to let the light shine in and shine out as well. She had earned every one of those cracks. Things would fall apart before they rebuilt. Things would get worse before they got better. But she would go on living and making mistakes, failing miserably and succeeding wildly, tripping over her own feet and others along the way, loving deeply all the way through with a life filled with craziness and hope. And the journey was filled with more pain than she could have ever imagined, and more love than she ever thought she deserved. And she was grateful and blessed. She had a second chance with a beautiful man who loved her like she had never been loved. Kids, bonus kids, and grandkids too. And so many friends she cherished. 13 years later, on the other side of redemption, forgiveness, prayer, therapy, and lots of love, she knew that through the hope, pain, tears, and chaos, one thing shined through. The tracks that brought her to it would continue to bring her through it. P.S. Those tracks, they really represent God. They were merely a tool God used to reach her.